Welcome back to Conductor Sunday live stream. I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor, and tonight I got my one of my favorite co-hosts in the world to talk about all this Disney news. He is someone that I've known for a long time, the one, the only, Mr. Orange Grove 55. But before we bring him on, I want to give a birthday shout out to my other friend, Mr. Hollow Gelato. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday to you, kind sir. But let's get right into it. The man, myth, and legend right here, Mr. Orange Grove 55. How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, dude. I had a nice weekend at Universal Studios, and I'm here now talking shop with you. We're going to talk all kinds of great stuff. So I want to thank you for having me on Conductor Sunday Live.
Absolutely. So the first thing we're going to jump right into actually is HHN, because there's news to talk about, but we have a lot of Disney news to cover. So we're going to just go right into it. So Treehouse of Horrors. Okay. So this is interesting because Disney owns 21st Century Fox, which The Simpsons is under that studio. So I want to ask you straight up, because Universal, as far as I know, is still losing the contract to Disney in 2028. That's when it ends. Are you kind of shocked that it took all this time to get the Treehouse of Horror stuff for HHN?
Yes, I am, because it seemed like a natural pairing, didn't it? Why not? Why not do that, you know? And I mean, I was actually talking to our good friend Alan, Almighty Coasters, about this. We were at Universal this past weekend together, and we were talking about this, and where maybe even, I mean, this is a maybe, but maybe even they extend that contract out. Because if Disney's not going to utilize The Simpsons in their parks, why not let Universal utilize it? Disney still gets a check for that. Disney still gets paid for Universal using this property. I mean, maybe we'll see a long-term thing here with The Simpsons for a few more years. But aside from that, Treehouse of Horror is like a match made in heaven for HHN. And I'm really happy that it's finally coming. So I think it's great. I love it.
No, absolutely. What I find even more awesome is this, the donut. Yeah. Orange, sprinkles, and Ned Flanders dressed up as the devil. Could not be better if I dreamed it myself. I mean, come on, man.
It's fantastic. Well, it's fantastic. And these donuts, I mean, every time I'm at Universal, man, the donut shop is like a huge line. Everyone wants the donuts. We live in that Instagram culture, right? Where everyone wants to get the donut and take a picture with it. So and that's what I'm saying. It's like, if Disney's not going to utilize this IP, let Universal do it and get the money from it. Why not?
Yeah, no, 100%. And then they have some type of pumpkin spice cold brew. I'm not a coffee guy, so I probably hate this, but it does look interesting. It does look interesting.
No, it does. It looks like a diabetes bomb or something, right? With the donut hole on top.
Oh, 100%. And then they got a sloppy, they call it a sloppy dough.
Nope. Yeah. I mean, I used to eat, man, when I was a kid, I used to eat sloppy joes all the time. I used to love sloppy joes.
This one I might try. A sauerkraut hot dog. I might try that.
Interesting. Okay. I've never got into sauerkraut, but I mean, I'm down to try it.
For me, it's kind of interesting because you have like too much of something on another item could be overwhelming, but it depends how much they put on there. Because we both know, you know, covering the theme parks, eating in the theme parks once in a while, you know, the picture, even in fast food industries, you see a picture on a commercial or you see a picture online, it looks stacked and beautiful, and then when you actually get it, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they barely give you any sauerkraut. So that might work out for me, because I'm not a huge sauerkraut person either. Like too much is too much.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I want to ask you a question too, while we're on the topic of food at Universal.
Sure.
I was talking to Almighty Coasters about this yesterday, and Do you feel, and now that you've been to Universal Orlando a few months ago, do you feel like our park in Hollywood doesn't have enough sit down places for food?
Actually, to tell you the God honest truth, I kind of do, because I can count. I can count how many sit down restaurants we have. So, Three Broomsticks, Toadstool. If you really want to count Krusty Burger, I hate Krusty Burger. I've tried a couple things; it's gross for me. Um, Literally, those are the three I can think of that are actual sit down inside restaurants. The other ones are pick up and go sit in on at a table somewhere outside and it's hot,
Right.
or it might be cold or raining. So I don't think our park has enough. But being that it's a smaller park, I understand it. But if I had to choose between here in Universal Orlando, I'm going to choose Universal Orlando. Not because it has so much variety, but just the quality. Like, I mean, I didn't get to eat at Twosome's out in CityWalk out there, but from countless people I've talked to, they said from their menu, which is the exact same menu we have in our version in CityWalk, theirs is a better quality, and I'm starting to believe it.
I believe it. And it's interesting because I also hear that the twosome in Florida is busier than the one. Like I was there today and twosome was dead again. It was dead. Nobody goes there. I don't know how it stays in business.
I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Like, I mean, I don't know if making see this is where I have a little bit of a problem. Like, I mean, would have been better not to have twosomes, but maybe like I'm trying to think, like maybe like another restaurant that's in their city walk that wouldn't have been more beneficial. I think they were trying to go for that theme park esque type feel. That's why they duplicated twosomes.
Right.
I just don't think that was the smartest move.
No, twosomes of all the things that you want to bring to California, like I'd rather them bring like something else. Like even though, I mean, I know we don't have like a city walk, it's kind of hard to do it, like the aesthetics, but like Mythos or a version of that kind of restaurant concept at City Walk would be better.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that would be way better. But like I went to NBC Grill today and it was pretty busy in there. But then when I was walking out, because I parked in ET, and when I was walking past Twosome, it was empty. So it seems like it's a twosome issue. Like people don't really care about that place, and also it kind of looks like only desserts, like a chocolate thing or something.
Yeah.
And I think there might be a misconception that it doesn't just have desserts, but it feels like a Willy Wonka chocolate desserty place.
You know what? It's actually funny you mentioned that because I kind of get that vibe. But there's other aesthetics that I kind of feel hurt at as well. Like, when was the last time the smokestack worked? When was the last time those spinny things on the outside of the building worked? When was the last time we saw the walk around characters that Twosome's supposed to have? So there's no kinetic energy to the restaurant. So why would anyone go in there?
100%. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So that's kind of questionable. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep that restaurant, if they're going to replace it with something else. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of concerning because right next to Twosomes, you have the comic book store that's closing September 30th.
Yes.
What are they going to be doing with that? Who knows?
Who knows? And when I walked by today, that comic book store was like 80% empty already. Like there was nothing on the shelves. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut it down before, because there's nothing left on the shelf to even sell at this point.
No, there isn't. And it's kind of sad, quite frankly. So going to HHN though, because you're going to go this year, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there next month with Vash Guy and Mr. Theme Park Wizard.
I love Theme Park Wizard, man. His updates and just his His kind of energy he brings to the conversation is awesome. I love it.
No, he's great. I love Wizard too. He's great.
So let me ask you this. Terror Tram. I know it's not everyone's favorite,
Right.
but Art the Clown. Of all Terror Trams, are you happy they brought Art the Clown back and not like Michael Myers or, you know, the Chucky dolls or something they've already used 5 million times?
No, I love Art. I think it was last year. I was doing some content with Tommy Toon. Shout out to Tommy Toon. And we were sitting out there. We're that Hollywood and Dine, that Fast and Furious, like little food areas when you first walk into Universal.
Yeah.
We were sitting right there, and Art the Clown comes up and like scares the crap out of us, bro. Like just like it was so funny. I love Art. I love the energy he brings to the event. I'm all for it, man. And it's better than that one girl. Who's that? Is it Megan?
Megan.
Yeah, like wasn't she last year Terror Tram?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Art's way better. Come on.
Hey,
way better.
I couldn't agree more. Stranger Things 5. Okay. Based off the last season, there was a lot of people, including our mutual friend Tones TV, that has talked about this in the past, publicly has stated that the last season of Stranger Things was not popular. It kind of just lacklustered. Are you at all surprised that they decided to bring this back?
Yes and no. I mean, it is a little bit surprising because the show ended. Like it was a series finale. But at the same time, it's overall a popular franchise still. We'll kind of see how it does though, right? Because I feel like, I mean, when did the season end? I felt like a long time ago.
It did.
Yeah. So this is a toss up for me. Like, I mean, I can see why Universal did it, right? At the same time though, like how viable is this franchise after the series ended? We're looking at like almost a year since it ended, I think. So yeah, interesting. I don't know. Now, I wasn't there for the other Stranger Things offerings at HHN. How were those? Were those pretty good?
The houses were okay. There were like scenes here and there that were pretty awesome, but overall the house, it was okay at best for me, at least. I would say the food was better.
Okay, interesting.
To be honest, the food was better.
Right.
Sinners. What do you think about that?
I never saw the movie. I've never seen it. I've heard like people love it, and it seems like Universal is going all in on it. So, I mean, now is this a popular franchise in the horror community? I mean, is this something that like people really enjoy? Or
so Sinners, I didn't see it either. By the way, Sinners is I think the first movie of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
For the franchise. So I don't know if they're going to make a second one or a third one. So I know very little detail about it. I know Tommy is excited though.
Okay. And honestly, I mean, Tommy, I trust his take on that because he's way more tuned in and tapped into this stuff than I am. So if he feels like it's a good call, then cool. Like I don't know enough about that franchise to really say one way or the other. But if like Tommy's excited, then it's probably legit because he's into this stuff big time.
Oh, 100%. All right. The big one, Hellraiser. What do you think about that?
I mean, this is iconic, right? I'm not even into horror movies, but this is like, even if you're not into that genre, you know what Hellraiser is. A huge amount of potential. Smart move. Absolutely.
Well, I do know Hellraiser was one of those IPs that John Murdy is been wanting to get because year after year, because he basically lives 365 Halloween Horror Nights. Like the guy didn't get a break.
And you met him, right? You met the guy.
I've met the guy 3 or 4 times, and we always kind of joke around with each other. We talk about, hey, Whittier boy, because we both grew up in Whittier. Obviously, two different time periods, but
see, and that's why I love you, conductor, because you're a nice California kid. You know what I'm saying, bro? I love our California, baby. You know I do. You know I do. Go ahead.
West Coast all day.
West Coast.
Oh, so I'm super excited for Hellraiser. They actually showed previews of him at the media event for the where they hold the RIP dinner. They had the media event there for the food and the merch, and he was walking around. So he looks legit. He was even at Midsummer, and man, I don't know if I'm ready to see that guy in the dark around a corner or something. I'd be scared.
You don't want him behind you at the ATM at night, huh? That's for sure.
No. Oh God, no. Oh my God. This one here, I'm most excited for out of all of them. Ozzy Osbourne, dude. Like, I mean, we just lost Ozzy not too long ago. The guy is a legend in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The guy is awesome. I can't wait to see what music comes out of this house and just the overall characters. What do you think?
No, look, I've never been a rock fan, I'll be honest with you. And never been into that genre for whatever reason. Always been more into rap, hip hop, and now even K-pop. Never got into rock music, but I will say this. You can't deny how much of a legend Ozzy is, right? Whether you're into rock or not, this man like changed music, he changed culture. Like, I mean, I love the fact that Universal is going in there and paying him a cool little homage, right? With this, this is my favorite thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm most excited for that one. Like I said, out of all the houses, because I'm not a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, but being that I'm theme park conductor, and obviously everyone can see the little logo I have in the right hand corner of the screen with me on the train, and Crazy Train is one of his hits. Yeah. Man, it fits. It fits.
It fits. I love it. No, I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. This is exactly what they should be doing, and this is great.
Absolutely. So, Evil Dead Burn.
Yeah, this one's.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, this one's kind of like the Sinners for me. Like, I don't know really that much about like Evil Dead, right? Is it that Evil Dead franchise? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, that's huge, and I'm sure it'll do very well. I mean, is Tommy excited?
I think he's really excited. This kind of gives me the vibes of Walking Dead, just a different iteration of Walking Dead. So,
yeah, it'll do well. I'm sure.
Killer Clowns,
bro. I mean, this thing. I mean, you can't get scarier than clowns. Okay, like
no, you can't. You can't.
Dude, and this is so funny to me, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Like, this is the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard in my life, but it but it works so well, and only Universal would have the cojones to do something like that, right? I mean, really, let's be real, because Disney won't, conductor. Disney would never.
No, God, no. No. I will say with Killer Clowns, though, they've used this IP so much over the years. So hopefully this will be the last year for it for quite some time. Because I don't know about everyone in the chat. There is one house I want them to bring back if they're going to do it. Bring us Krampus. Oh. I know you didn't go into it. Me and my buddy Andre went into Mr. Scary Dre. He goes by on social media. Dude. Krampus hit so hard. Like, I mean, we, like, at one point, I think it was like Friday, like the second day or the third day we went, like, we did early entry and we went through that house back to back, like 3 times with nobody in there. Wow. And it was just us and the scare actor. Dude, legit.
That's dope. That's dope. And big shout out to Dre, by the way. Scary Dre is awesome.
Oh, I've known him since grade school. You believe that? 20 plus years I've known him.
Really? That's wild. I didn't know you guys went with that far back. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Okay. I'm going to try not to butcher this. Quinceañera.
So I'm assuming this is like more like a Mexican vibe.
Yeah. So this house is going to be in the Parisian courtyard next to the plaza. Drink plaza, as I call it. Party zone. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, it looks like they're going to have music by Slash. So Slash is going to be doing all. He's been doing the music for HHN for the last 5-6+ years. I'm glad he's still involved because he's actually had records put out that you could buy during the event, and there's either a signed copy or a non-signed copy.
Okay.
So that's really cool that he's doing this again for another house. But I don't know if there's going to be an album, but you never know. But
yeah, exactly. And I think it's kind of cool. Like, I saw some of the setup today, actually, like with the the Mexican style, like decor in that little courtyard and stuff. It looks cool, man. And I like that. I really like that culture, and I think there's a lot of potential there. That house that's over there, but that was, I think it was like a Latin themed thing last year, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Monstrous 3.
Gotcha. And that was one of my favorite ones because they had like really cool like puppeteering in there, like the big monsters. Like that was really dope. Really dope.
That was really cool. So I'm kind of curious for next year what type of IP they'll use for that. If it's still going to be Latin America or they're just going to choose something else. But I am excited for that house. But like I said, the most excited I am is for Ozzy. Because actually in your video, did you release it this morning?
Yeah, it was released this afternoon. My walk and talk for Universal.
Yes. So everybody in the chat, please go over to Orange Go 55 and go check out that video. I saw that you walk past on the lower lot. They're going to have an Ozzy bar. I'm like, okay, I got to go up there. I have to do it. I have to do it.
I walked right by it. And then there was also an Art the Clown like cafe. It was called the Clown Cafe. It was like right there next to the Panda Express on the lower lot.
Oh, Tommy's going to be in hog heaven over there. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, man.
He definitely is. So I want to talk about, let's see, I want to talk about some Disney stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to let's go into Avatar, your favorite subject.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Everyone's favorite subject. Let's go into it. Let's talk about it. Because actually, I found 2 different people on social media. The first one being a Mouse Gamer on X. So he lays out Avatar like this. So being that you're an advocate for Avatar,
yeah,
I'm still on the fence about it, but I hope it happens because it looks beautiful. Tell us what we're looking at here. Like, I mean, coming off Hollywood Boulevard as he has it mapped out with the arrows and all that, walking in, and then to the left side you have the bridge. Kind of walk us through what you think is going to happen here.
Well, I think that Mouse Gamer actually has the correct placement for Avatar because if you look at the model includes the monorail beam, right?
It does.
And the monorail beam, if you follow the monorail beam on this graphic, it follows the exact trajectory of the model. So I was always assuming that the onion blossom rockwork would be like facing the back end of the busload area.
Yeah.
But based on the model, that's not what's going to happen. Based on the model, Mouse Gamer's graphic is absolutely correct. The onion blossom is actually the back of it is going to be facing Harbor Boulevard, which is crazy to me, right? So they're going to dig in, and we talked a little bit about this pregame, you and I, but they're going to dig into that Uber drop-off area right behind there. I mean, they have to, right? I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, and then, so it looks like you're going to enter from Hollywood Boulevard, and you're going to enter Pandora from the side, which is kind of crazy, which kind of changes things, right? I don't think Mouse Gamer, no, he doesn't have any of the courtyard with the stage and all that actually removed. He has that staying. I don't think it's going to stay, though. I think he just left that out because we don't have information on that yet. I think all of that stuff with like the little stage and that area in front of Monsters is probably going to go.
Yeah.
That's going to be some kind of, like our friend Hey Bricky, he talked about like a transition. It'll probably be some sort of transition.
So let me ask you this then. Being that you have, I don't think that's Soundstage 12 that's right there, or maybe it is. That's next to the Hyperion. Okay.
Right.
So being that in this rendering, Soundstage 12 is not gone. Could that be a future expansion slot for another attraction in Avatar? Maybe just not as big as the e-ticket though.
It could be, and I know, and I know fans really don't want to hear this, but I'm not gonna like pretend like something isn't there just because fans don't want to hear it. The Hyperion, I honestly, I mean, unless something changes, the Hyperion is probably gonna go. We haven't had a show in there in like 3+ years, right? And it's basically the ESPN zone of DCA. It's basically just sitting there waiting for something else to come along, right? So if they open Avatar, like that like you were saying, that stage, that sound stage, and the Hyperion, I can see them actually adding, like, removing both of those and making a another attraction if the original, like, version 1 of Pandora is successful, which I think it will be. I know a lot of fans get all worked up over it's Avatar. I don't like Avatar. You guys, the franchise doesn't matter, okay? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about a lot of these franchises, bro. Like, everybody at home, when's the last time you watched Alice in Wonderland? Do you need to, like, love that movie to, like, enjoy the teacups? No, right? Okay, same thing. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So I do believe that this area will be successful if they build it, right? And they will probably expand. And I do believe that Hyperion is on the chopping block. I can't see it staying. It's expensive. Those Broadway shows are very expensive. And I know entertainment's important, but wouldn't you rather them take that money and have entertainment outside? Like, maybe they can add maybe outside performers and things like that, where you add to the kinetic energy of the park. Yes, the Broadway shows are great, but it's in the giant Costco in the back of the park. I'd rather have that, right? I'd rather have that money spent towards singers and dancers and entertainment in the park that adds to the vibe of the park when you're walking around.
Well, see, this is interesting too, because being that Avatar is laid out like this, and again, I think this is the layout we're going to see. There are people that have told me that this is what it's going to look like. You even said yourself the model is going to look like this. Let me see if I can. I thought I had it pulled up. Let me see if I could find it really quick so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about here. Let me see. Oh, did I just have it? Yes. Okay. Here is what the model looks like. That way you guys can see it. This is what. Okay, so the rock work, you have the monorail coming right in front of it. You have this kind of like little bridge that looks into the ride, basically, the outdoor portion of the ride. So if you look at that picture and then you look at that picture,
Right.
It kind of lines up almost damn near perfect.
It does, because that monorail beam is going right behind the onion blossom rockwork and off the other side, which is exactly what the model is showing. So I think Mouska Gamer is 100% correct on the placement. We've all assumed the onion blossom the back of it will face basically the busload area, which I get it. Like, we all thought that. I thought that too. It's not. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case based on the model, at least, right? You're going to enter Pandora from the side, which is kind of crazy, kind of weird, but I mean,
it's kind of weird. But then again, if you're entering from the side, and they can kind of build like this, kind of like what we see with the restaurant out in Animal Kingdom for Avatar, if they build like this kind of wooden awning and you walk through it like a tunnel system from the side, then it kind of, the transition kind of works a little bit better. On top of that, I think if they laid out Avatar like this instead of the other way around, I think it fits better, because me and you were talking, we've talked almost daily about Avatar, is that the backstage road that DCA needs to have all the way around is going to actually take up that Uber drop-off location, which is right up here, because that's why they're relocating it. And eventually it's going to be part of the Eastern Gateway parking structure.
Right.
So it makes sense like a Best Buy, Costco-looking show building would face Harbor Boulevard, because these are all businesses. They are not residential, so residents don't care. That's, you know, as time has developed with concept art, now D23, I can see why they didn't put in the symbol lot. I still wanted them to, because I think it would just be a bigger footprint. But since they already mapped it out for this location, if they do it in this layout, I think it will work out.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a great point. We did a video, you and I, recently, where you brought up a great point where that symbol lot probably has a lot more restrictions as to what they can or cannot do because of the residents nearby on Walnut Street.
Yeah.
On the back. Universal Studios is going through it right now with Toluca Lake because of the coaster, which is not even like right there. Like I mean, it's a pretty good distance, and the Toluca Lake people are having a fit over it, right?
Oh,
so
God.
Disney's probably like, you know what? We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to deal with like what we, you know, these residents telling us what we can or can't do. We'll put Pandora, because Pandora is kind of like Pandora is an aggressive thing. It's not like a Mickey and Minnie's where it's just a big box and that's the end of it. Pandora is very aggressive. We got a lot of rock work and crazy lighting. Trust me, the residents are going to have a fit if you put it over there. So Disney's like, you know what? We're going to bypass all that nonsense, all that noise, and we're going to put it in the existing park because there's less drama. And to your point, Conductor, it's right there across the street from the McDonald's and the Mimi's Cafe and the hotels and all that. It's less of an issue than when you're dealing with people's homes and like apartments and all that stuff. So,
no, 100%. Well, being that we're in DCA at the moment, I want to ask you about this, because this area is Avengers Campus, and this is the walkway between Avengers Campus, Cars Land. Still closed, by the way, which is unfortunate because it's a nightmare to walk all the way around. Sucks. Yeah. It doesn't look like they changed any thematical elements to this. It looks almost identical. But I want to ask you, because this is what the restroom looks like on the Cars Land side. Do you think there's a reason why they haven't opened this yet? Like, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought, you know, by the holidays, which we're starting to get into the holidays for the theme parks, they wouldn't have had this pathway open, because it is a cluster of walking all the way around to get to Cars Land and then walking all the way back.
No, you're right. You're right. It is typical. That's the thing with Disney. It just takes forever for everything. Like, how long have they been working on the bathroom? I mean, I feel like it's been like a couple years. Like, this is crazy.
Oh, it's insane for a bathroom.
I'm telling you. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's not even it's not a big building.
No. No, it's not.
I don't understand it. I mean, I'm sure it'll look really nice when it's done, you know, and that's cool. It'll help out a lot. Cool, you know, but now I do know that, remember that Hey Bricky video that we both reacted to, where Bricky was saying there's something about like a bar. So I believe that bar, because he was talking about like a bar and like you can walk up and get like drinks and stuff with the you know, so maybe that's holding it up. Maybe there is like that bar element there that's making this take a little longer. I don't know.
Let me see, because I do have. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Okay, this was on the showroom floor. Okay, so this is the pathway right here that's blocked. And big shout out to Kiki and Luca for gifting one theme park conductor membership.
Dude, Kiki and Luca is the man. We love you, Kiki and Luca. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we got Webcast Citizen in here. We got Webba. Man, I gotta get him back on the channel when he's not working. He says that's gonna be the OG55 bathroom with special access.
Tell you, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm making moves over here in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
And Webba over here is my CFO, so he's making it all. He's making all the magic happen for me, bro. He's the money guy. You know?
Oh, totally. When he's not saving the neighborhood from the evil villains, he's playing the double standard, right?
Yeah, he's CFO, baby. He's CFO.
So I think that bar that Bricky was talking about is this structure right here.
Oh, okay. I'm mistaken then. So this is more like the lead up to the Kuka arm and the
yeah, I think so. Or I don't know if it's this structure or this structure. I think it's this structure because I think what they're going to have is kind of like I don't know. Do you remember from, was it Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 1? I can't even remember. It's so long ago, where he's in his basement of his home and he has the robot arms and he puts the was it the dumb cap on one of the robot arms? I think in this little bar area here, that's where those robot arms are going to be making the drinks.
Oh, okay.
They already have the technology on the cruise lines. Right. So the technology is already there. So I could see everybody, or I could see them implementing this. I do find it interesting though. Aesthetically, it looks good, but like, I mean, from the concept art, like on the construction wall, it's like all glassed in and you walk into this like glass building. Right. I don't know if I like this open concept because what if it's extremely hot, which we're going through a heat spell right now.
Oh, I'm sweating.
Or it rains. Then no one's going to get drinks.
Yes, yeah. And well, that's a good point. Yeah. And the other thing too, I was talking to a buddy the other night on the phone about this, like the Kuka arm stuff, right? And he kind of like sort of not changed my mind on the Kuka arm, but he made a really, really good point with the Kuka arm where, like Disney parks, like for example, Disneyland, like the teacups and Dumbo, right? They add like that kinetic energy to that park, right?
Sure.
In Avengers Campus, though, you can't have like a cornball like spinner, though. Like this is like a more like Avengers are like Marvel's more adult, right? So you can't have like a cornball spinner ride. So the Kuka arm, he was basically saying to me was like the Kuka arm. Think of it as like, you know, Avengers Campus's Dumbo or teacups, but like it's a more adult land, so it's a more adult kind of version of that kind of ride. And that kind of made a lot of sense. And it really, it's a vibes ride. It's made for more of like giving the vibes of the area with the movement more than anything. So yeah, Kiki, look at, hey bro, I already have it. I already have that, dude. I already have that. And I put it on vibrate though when I'm doing videos, bro. But yeah, I already got that.
Oh, God, that's crazy. Let me ask you about this with the model. Okay. A lot of people were saying about the model is that you see all the Kuka arm attraction and you see nothing about Infinity Defense besides the marquee sign.
Yeah.
Is that a concern for you? Or do you think they want to save what it's going to look like for Infinity Defense? You know, in the future, they'll release more concept art, maybe more, I don't know, Imagineer videos on how you walk into Infinity Defense. So they're saving that for a later date.
I think the reason why in this particular model, we're seeing more Kuka arm, because it was kind of like what my buddy was saying the other day on the phone, where the Kuka arm is more like a vibe thing. And it's glass, you'll see through it. So I think this model is basically to give you an idea of like what the land is going to be from like the outside. Infinity Defense is like an indoor thing. Like the ride is all indoors and all that. So they don't really make the model for that or like show it in the model because it's not really like an outdoor thing. I think what we're seeing here in this model is more outdoor stuff. So Kuka arm is visible from the outside. Obviously, like the, you know, the trees and the bar, and all, that's all outdoor stuff. So that's my takeaway from it. It's just that Infinity Defense is in a giant building with nothing being seen visibly from the outside, so they don't show it in this model.
Yeah, no, 100%. One of the things you actually pointed out to me, I think you sent me a picture of this model, but like a zoomed out one, was this grass area here. What's that all about? Like, is that a future development for something, or is that just kind of like there because it's there?
It's interesting. Disney's kind of on this like fake grass, open spaces like kick right now. Like, remember at the experiences panel, they were talking about like the new Tomorrowland, and they even said it's going to include more open spaces, right? And even the Toontown remodel was all about like the good little grassy areas for families to like sit and have a picnic and whatever. I just think that Disney's on this whole thing right now where they want to have these like little open areas. Even downtown Disney, that whole area right in front of Din Tai Fung.
Yeah.
It's just this big open area, like fake grass as far as the eye can see. You know what I'm saying? And everyone just hangs out and rolls around in the dirty fake grass. You know, I think that I think that's kind of what they're doing here with this. They're just kind of, it's an aesthetic thing, and I think that's kind of where they're going with it. Webba actually brings up a good point, and I agree with him on that, dude. I mean, he said the biggest problem is both of these are not opening until 2028. We're talking almost a full decade, Conductor, and you've talked about this for a long time. Disney takes forever.
At least out here on the West Coast. East Coast, they don't screw around.
No, and they're not screwing around on the East Coast because they're scared of Universal. See, that back in the day, though, they used to take forever on the East Coast. When Tron took like 7 years to build, and there's like basically no theming to that at all. It's an outdoor roller coaster, right? Yeah. But because Universal has made major moves in Orlando and has probably cut into their market share more than they'd like to admit, now suddenly they care about Walt Disney World. They didn't care about it before. I can count on one hand how many times Bob Iger showed up to Walt Disney World when he was running the company for 20 years. Like, he didn't care, bro. Now all of a sudden, oh wow, Disney World, because of Universal. I guarantee it.
Yeah, Epic Universe, and then what they're doing with IOA with the possible Pokemon Land, that's just going to dominate the Orlando market out there. I'm telling you now, that probably plays a contributing factor why they're moving so fast.
Yes, 100%, dude, 100%, and that's why I really want Universal to step it up out here in California. Like, really go all out with the California stuff, because if that's what it takes to get Disney to pay attention, Universal, come on. Yeah, put some money in, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it today, but like the D23 thing for the West Coast was sad. Like we didn't get anything. Like I know I'm like an Avatar, like a Pandora guy. I want that, but it's not even Pandora. We didn't get anything for Coco either. We got like 2 pieces of concept art, and that it didn't have a height requirement. Meanwhile, they spent 25 minutes on Villains Land.
Yeah, they did. And again, that is a Walt Disney World land.
Right.
So exactly. it makes sense. But I want to ask you about this picture here, because you actually were at the Honda Center, but on the opposite side. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me until the next morning, but it's okay. You and Webba were on the opposite side watching this whole parks presentation. Right. Being at Avengers Campus, because we were kind of concerned. We all of us kind of didn't know, are they going to go more screen based? Are they going to go more practical sets? And it looks like they're going to kind of share hand in hand. Right. Are you happy about that? Like, I mean, obviously Transformers does the same thing, but it's more screen based than it is practical sets.
Yeah, no, a lot of fans were dismissing this attraction as just a Transformers kind of thing. This hammer and the panther, the giant panther, proves that it's not going to be a Transformer. Like, honestly, I like Transformers. I like that ride a lot. There's nothing like this in Transformers. Transformers has a bunch of screens and some oil drums in front of the screen. You know, it's dude, this is like whole, like next level. Okay. This was honestly from the whole West Coast, This made me the most excited out of everything they gave us for the West Coast. This was the most exciting for me because it showed that, you know what, maybe this Avengers ride is going to have some ambition to it.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff for the West Coast, there was nothing there. Even Tomorrowland, they didn't give us anything. This is exciting. This shows, you know what? Okay, cool, man. Can you imagine in that vehicle rolling through and seeing this giant hammer and then having those giant screens kind of interact with that? I mean, dude, that experience could be really dope if they do it right. I'm kind of upset that it's going to be 3D glasses. That's my only complaint.
I was going to agree with you because I hate the 3D aspect. Me and Webba, well, obviously he could probably see better than I can, but being that I have to wear glasses all the time to see, this is going to suck. Wearing the 3D glasses, trying to put them over my regular glasses, it's not going to work. I'm going to love the attraction, but I'm always going to associate not fully loving it because of the 3D aspect, which I'm kind of shocked about this, that Disney is reaching back in the past to bring technology to a new advanced ride with technology that's 30 plus years old. Why is that?
I don't know. It's weird to me. The industry is moving away from the 3D glasses thing. And it's more expensive for Disney. They got to pay cast members to handle the 3D glasses. They got to produce the 3D glasses because a lot of them, you don't just produce those 3D glasses one time. A lot of times those glasses break. You got to make new ones. It's an expense. Universal is systematically getting rid of their 3D stuff. I was on the tram tour today. No 3D glasses. It was refreshing. I loved it. Kong looked just as good with no 3D.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I mean, it was great, man. Why is Disney going back a decade or more and having 3D? I don't get it, dude. I really don't. It's weird.
I don't get it either. Webcast Citizen says the Infinity Defense giant props are impressive. I'm curious, though, because from the construction, the building didn't seem big enough to hold this scale of attraction. What do you think?
That's interesting. I mean, it doesn't. And that's why it's kind of weird. Like, I think some of this stuff is very deceiving, right? Like even Coco, like we're looking at Coco and Conductor, you did a great video. Your construction update was great. You were up there at the Pixar Hotel.
Yeah.
Low key, you know, just taking little shots from the Pixar Hotel. And it was great. And you can see like the whole land clearing for Coco. And it looks like a small little strip of land.
Yeah. No,
but,
go ahead. I'm going to pull it up actually while you're talking about it.
Oh, perfect. No, and it's possible that like from the naked eye, these things look smaller than they really are. So to your point, Webba, maybe that building looks not that big from the outside, but I mean, apparently from the inside, it's pretty sizable. So yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is very deceiving.
Yeah, no, 100%. And speak of that, so we do have the video. I just had to find it real quick. There's my ugly mug. Sorry. I know I don't look like Jennifer Aniston.
There he is. Look at that. That's a great shot right there. Bang.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the money shot. But you could see they're moving, laying conduit. But yeah, that road is very deceiving for someone like myself that doesn't really have the imagination, like, I mean, to actually kind of foresee it. This road is like almost like a headache in the creative mind. I can't see how Coco's going to fit in here. I can't.
No, same here. I can't either. I don't know. There's certain things I can kind of get beyond, right? Like even Pandora, I can kind of see, okay, those big buildings are going to remove them. That's going to leave a lot of room. I can see that. This one, I don't know how they're going to work this because you still have to have that building behind there with the giant door in the background. That's the parade building. Yeah. So assuming they still want to do parades, you're going to have enough room for those parade floats to come out of there and work their way out. So you can't go straight up to the very, you know what I'm saying? Like you only have so much room, and it just doesn't seem like enough space for a giant boat ride.
No, it doesn't. So we'll have to wait and see. You know, like I mean, being that they only gave us 2 pieces of concept art, I'm like, eh. Again, it's one of those projects I'm not exactly sure about what direction it's going to go, because I honestly think they're gonna build the road. Like, if you look at Cosmic Rewind in Epcot, they have a service road going right underneath and through the show building. That's what I kind of feel like they're going to do with Coco. I just kind of wish they wouldn't have had a model that we can look at.
Yes, and that's the thing. I don't want to seem like the thing is, like, dude, like, the panel was a lot of fun. Like, Webb and I had a great time. We had a great time, and it was a fun time. But I feel like for the West Coast, I feel like they really dropped the ball. And I'm going to be honest, like, we didn't get anything. Like, what? Like, honestly, California? What did we get at the expo that we didn't know before? Right? Like, so what? Oh, Coco has no height restriction. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, really? That you're gonna announce that at the expo? Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't even matter. Even Tomorrowland, we don't have any information on it. Like, they can say New Tomorrowland. Like, we don't even know what it's gonna be. We didn't get any information. The Thor hammer that you showed, Conductor, is literally the most information we got in the whole 2 hours.
I think so. And to be fair with Tomorrowland, we're going to talk about it, is I'm kind of glad the vague information they gave, they left it towards the end of the presentation. They didn't throw it in the middle of the presentation, because that kind of seems like almost like a blue sky concept, which it kind of is until we hear more about it. I'm just saying, though, it's kind of interesting to me that they announced that, because I was not expecting that. I told you multiple times, I said, they're going to leave that until 2028.
Yeah.
That's when they're going to talk about it.
Well,
and they decided to throw a tongue twister and, oh yeah, New Tomorrowland. And good friend of mine, Offhand Disney, Dallin from the East Coast, he was sitting right next to me in the parks panel, and I think I lost temporary hearing in my ear because he screamed so loud. It was awesome, though.
Well, first of all, I love Offhand Disney. He's a good dude, and I love people that have passion about stuff. Like, he loves the people mover. That's his thing. Yeah. Dude, that is freaking awesome, man. Own it and celebrate that stuff, and I love that. But, like, for me, like, the Tomorrowland thing is really fishy, okay? Because we have a deadline coming up. California state law, right? California state law, Disney has to convert the Autopia vehicles to electric by February of 2027. We didn't even get any information on the electric vehicles. And now all of a sudden, Mazzy gets on stage. We're doing a New Tomorrowland, and we're moving it ahead of Pandora. That, to me, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm fine being wrong, but that to me screams, you know what? We don't want to do the Autopia thing. It's turning out to be a headache for us. So we're going to just do a New Tomorrowland, and we're fast tracking it because we have a deadline to get rid of Autopia.
Hey, you know what? I would be okay with that. I know David from Fresh Baked is not going to be too happy I said that, but being that I'm a tall guy, you're a tall guy as well, Bricky, even Data himself. All four of us are really tall. For me to fit in that vehicle, it's a power struggle. And to get out is even worse.
Dude, I don't know about you. I don't like biting my kneecaps, right? I'm good on that, bro. No, I'm good.
Oh my gosh. So we got Mouseword Bound in the house. They said Conductor actually pointed this out a couple weeks ago. This is for the Avatar thing, for Avengers. If you look at the newest concepts, you'll notice that the guests are not wearing the 3D glasses. And actually, me and you did a video on this where I pointed that out, that they aren't wearing the 3D. So I hope that's true. I hope they keep consistent with that latest concept art, that they're not doing the 3D glasses.
I hope so. I hope so too. 3D is such a old school thing at this point. Like, and we have such high resolutions with these big screens. You don't need them.
No,
and, so
So I want to ask you this because obviously behind this construction wall, I'm going to just play it. This is from Mondo from Five Fires, the gazebo where they've done meet and greets. Okay. That's going to be demolished for a new men's restroom. So, oops, sorry. I want to ask you about this. Being that it's going to be next to Goofy Sky School, this new restroom, and the old restroom, which is next to the women's, that's going to be all the women's restroom. And they're planning this stuff out as they're pushing dirt around for Coco and getting that site prepped. I love that they're doing other elements because knowing the foot traffic is going to be ridiculous. What other elements in that corner do you see? Do you see them changing to make way for Coco? Do you think the bathrooms are going to just be it, or you think there's going to be more reconfiguring in that area?
I have a feeling they're going to do more reconfiguring. I mean, and this is just my speculation, but I at the very minimum, I think they're definitely going to like change the menu over there in the food court. Like you have a Mexican attraction with Coco. To have Mediterranean themed food next door feels weird to me. Mexican food, you can't go wrong with. Who does not like Mexican food? Okay, like it's like an easy win. Like,
food.
Oh, dude, we love Mexican food. Like, how are you gonna? You can't lose with Mexican food. So I would be shocked if the menus stay the same for that food court. I wouldn't be surprised if they retheme Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta into a Mexican spot, which I'd be totally fine with. And this other like walk up thing over here. So I think that, and we might even get like a light retheme and to kind of make this look more Spanishy and stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If they're willing to do the bathrooms and all that, there might be more to it. We might be seeing like a full sort of Mexican kind of redressing of the area, and I hope we do.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to ask you now about Tomorrowland. I think this is one of the last things we'll talk about before jumping to the East Coast.
Okay.
You brought this to my attention, so all the credit goes to you. Literally, all the credit goes to you. So you sent me this a while back. You have Sleeping Beauty's castle right there. Right in the middle, there's like this walkway or something going on. But to the very far right, towards the lagoon and Autopia, is a Matterhorn. Am I reading too much into this, or does it look like they relocated the Matterhorn? They tore down the old one and moved it over like 30 feet to the right.
It looks like it from the art. And I talked to Webba and Candid about this too. And I'm like, and look, maybe this is like some AI stuff that they're doing and it's like off a little bit. I don't really know. But Mondo was also talking about this on Twitter. He was kind of analyzing this artwork, saying like the buildings even around Space Mountain aren't really the same. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But that the Matterhorn is not that far over. Like the Matterhorn right there.
Yeah.
Is like sitting where like the subs are or something. I don't know. It's not, the Matterhorn is closer to the castle than that.
It is.
Yeah, so that is kind of weird. And this artwork was actually courtesy of Scott Gustin on X when he was talking about the Mondo here talking about it. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, and that pathway too off to what's that pathway?
Yeah.
With the tunnel. We don't have that.
No.
What is that?
I'm telling you, man. I think personally that they're going to rip down the old Matterhorn and they're going to rebuild it. Which again, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about it because it's an attraction that Walt Disney himself had. You know, he actually worked on that attraction with the WED team back in the day. I understand that, but structurally, it's becoming more and more, I wouldn't say unsafe, but maybe unstable. And that's why we see like every single year, it's going down a lot more than it used to.
Right.
Well,
No, you're right. And here's the thing too that a lot of fans are going to have to understand is like we might get to a point where they have to do something like this. You
Yeah.
know, where because do you want the Matterhorn to have a presence in Disneyland or not? And the current structure is very old.
Yes.
So they might have to rebuild it. And I get it. It's not the same mountain as before. And I get the nostalgia. I understand that. But like I would rather have the Matterhorn here for generations to come than have the old structure just to have the old structure and have that fall apart. You know, and I mean this Matterhorn, the current Matterhorn is under refurb and fixing like constantly. It's like never ending.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And they actually have a waterfall that faces Cinderella's castle. I would say more times than not, it's turned off. It's not even on.
It was off this past weekend.
Yeah, I believe it. I think I even saw it off. I mean, you know, it comes a time. It's like okay, and actually, George actually pointed this out to me. They could go the route if people are just like protesting. I'm not saying it's going to get to that point, but if people are protesting, oh no, you can't touch that, you can't touch that. Disney might say, okay, we won't touch it. We're going to shut the ride down though, and you can look at it. That's as far as you're going to get, and now you're going to have an empty shell of a mountain that was once a ride, just because people love the nostalgia.
Exactly. The nostalgia, a lot of times with the fandom, gets in the way. And I'm not saying nostalgia is bad because I have the same kind of nostalgia for these places like everybody else.
Sure.
But sometimes you have to make the hard decisions, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. Like this version of the mountain has been there since 1959. I understand that. But in order to keep the Matterhorn an icon of Disneyland, we might have to rebuild it one day.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? You know, obviously there's no easy fix. And so maybe the rebuild is the only way they can do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I would support that. I mean, look, what I don't support is them just getting rid of it. No, I don't want them to just remove it and not rebuild it. But if they have to remove the current version and rebuild it to current standards and to make it bigger and wider and more reliable. I mean, and honestly, do you think Walt Disney would want this thing to just crumble and just age and just because it's just no, dude. I mean, this guy would have bulldozed this thing and rebuilt it 4 times by now if he was still alive.
Well, it begs the point too, because people have talked about online that California is due, and I mean due, and I don't want to experience it, but due for a massive earthquake.
Right.
Can you imagine we have that earthquake and this thing goes down because it's structurally unsound? That would not be a good situation.
No, you're right. And I've actually made a lot of videos on my channel years ago, actually. I haven't done one recently, but years ago, I used to make videos on this because you're right. We are way overdue for a massive earthquake in Southern California, like way overdue. There was actually news the other day that the San Andreas Fault is actually slipping faster than we thought. If we get like, and everywhere, dude, Colombia, Philippines, they're Japan, the whole ring of fire, they're getting 6.0s, 7.0s all over the place. If we have something along that magnitude, a 7-pointer around this area, that's scary stuff, dude. And like I don't want to see that. I want to see them take care of this before, God forbid, knock on wood, something like that happens where we have the Matterhorn. The castle is another thing I'm kind of worried about with an earthquake because that's very old too. It's a lot of wood and like 1950s stuff, right? But Matterhorn though it should be a priority because Matterhorn is in worse shape than anything else. So we need to fix it.
Oh, 100%. Well, being that we're in this area, let's talk about it for a hot minute. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Was that the one? I'm trying to find the. Oh, here we go. I want to play the video because you made a great point on one of your videos you did just recently, if not with Jared and I and oh my gosh,
Vash.
and then
Wicked Virtue.
thank you so much. I'm bad with names, especially if I only meet you once. So we were talking on theme park, and if memory serves me correct, that you were saying, because you were in the Honda Center with me, but on the opposite side, that when Thomas Maslam here, and I'm going to play the video, made the announcement about Tomorrowland, the room kind of didn't erupt like you thought it was going to, because everyone's wanted a new Tomorrowland for decades.
Yeah.
It was kind of like confusion. Do you still kind of feel that, or going back, do you have a different opinion, or?
Well, no, I just feel like from in my area, I just feel like when we were sitting there, it was not crazy. But the thing is that with Tomorrowland, I feel like it was surprising for sure, but they didn't give us any information on it. So it's like, you know, they're telling us we're getting a new Tomorrowland, but like, okay, but what does that mean though? Like, you know, like, are you going to bulldoze it and rebuild it? Are you going to dress up the old buildings like you have been? Are like, what are we doing exactly? So it's kind of like, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone else in the Honda Center. It's hard to get excited about it when there's no details. It's a vague ass like promise. It's like, it almost felt like the blue sky stuff they did for Disney World a few years ago. Like,
Yeah.
how do you even get excited about it? Like, there's no detail. It's like this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, 100%. So that's kind of where I go with it, but let's play the video anyway for anyone that hasn't seen it. Here we go.
With Tomorrowland.
So I want to ask you about this, because this is the picture we have. Hopefully they update the construction wall. That would be nice with this new picture. I'm going to give them that. It shouldn't be that hard, but you know, I'm speaking metaphorically. But being that we're seeing Tokyo Disney getting a new version of Space Mountain, a complete rebuild that looks completely different from the old nostalgia of this, are you happy that if they do rip apart Tomorrowland, that we're still going to keep that old nostalgia look to our Space Mountain? Or what do you think about that?
I mean, the thing for me is like, and fans don't like change, like 100%. They don't. I mean, even the Hyperion Theater, like people want that to stay, even with nothing in it, right? That to kind of be the mindset here with a lot of fans. For me, I'm totally fine with them bulldozing our Space Mountain and giving us a smaller version of what Tokyo has.
Yeah,
I would be 1,000% okay with that aesthetic in our Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
but we can't do that out here in California because the fans would have a fit. I mean, the fans are having a fit about Hyperion. The fans are having a fit about Monsters Inc. The fans have a fit about everything. So you can't like realistically do. I mean, Space Mountain, it would be too much backlash. And this current administration, Josh and Thomas Maslam, they are hyper focused on making fans happy.
Yes.
So when you sit there and you try to pander to fans, you take all the risk out of the equation, because Thomas and Josh, and it's fine. I don't mind them doing what fans want, but like, it's just the reality of the situation. When you're going through a checklist of the fan wish list for the last 20 years, there's no risk in that, in my opinion. So they're not going to, I don't think they're going to change the look of Space Mountain. I do not. No, I wish they would. I like bold change like that. I think the one in Tokyo looks dope, but they won't do it. They'll keep Space Mountain, and then they'll do like the stuff that's really in danger is like the launch bay, the submarines, and Autopia. Those are the three things. And obviously the old people mover track. Those are the things that are in danger to getting removed. Space Mountain is probably going to stay the same. The queue might change, but the ride won't.
Yeah. Well, I want to answer two questions that Shane Narani and Jason Hill have, and it's about Matterhorn, because I just saw it. So Shane says they are going to have to rebuild this attraction for safety reasons, there is only so much refurb and patching you can do before it stops working. Do you think they changed the track also with the new Matterhorn?
Yeah.
Or you think they keep that the same?
No, they'll change it. I mean, I don't know about the layout, but it'll be it'll be a more modern track system, whatever that means, like whatever that entails. It'll be more modern. Like that's the point of like rebuilding it, is to have more modern and more reliable. Is to you that's why they would have to rebuild it.
Yeah,
is to do all that stuff. So yeah, it would be.
And Jason says the answer is to start warming up fans. Or fans up to the idea of a full rebuild. Don't give us some Monday morning Disney blog article. Show the fans why it needs to be rebuilt, and we will go along with it.
But see, and Jason, I don't disagree with you. The problem is that it's clear that Disney doesn't want to do that with us. We got a lot of muddy waters, I'll say, at the expo. We got a model, and I know Jason doesn't like when I bring up Pandora, but it's just an example. We got a model of Pandora on the expo floor.
Yeah.
And then zero word on in the Honda Center. Yeah. That's not clarification. That creates more uncertainty. So for me, with the Matterhorn, yes, I agree with Jason. I want all the clarity, all the honesty in the world, and I want them to tell us what's going on. But apparently, I don't think that we're really there with this right now, because they're not really being upfront. I don't think, even with New Tomorrowland, like I said, I don't think the New Tomorrowland thing is 100% just doing the fans a solid. No. I think there is definitely some shenanigans going on here, and why they moved it up. It's probably because, in my theory, because of the electric car thing. They don't want to do it. Maybe they initially did want to do it, but maybe it's turning out to be more expensive. There is something going on. But see, these are the things they're not telling us. They didn't even give us, Jason, a single word of Autopia at the expo, at the experience panel, did they? Not a single word of that was mentioned. So for me, I feel like they're not being upfront with us. They're hiding a lot of stuff. Honestly, at this point, I would actually welcome a blog post. You know what? Give us the blog post. At least we'll get the information. At this point, we're not getting anything. No, Coco, we got 2 pieces of art and no height requirement. Whoop-de-doo, man. Whoop-de-doo.
It's very true. So I don't know. I think on something like the Matterhorn, or even like this Tomorrowland stuff, I'm starting to give Avatar a pass, like on details, because I'm like, okay, we had the last D23, now we have this D23, no information, just an updated model. I'm okay with that. But being that Tomorrowland is something that the fans wanted for several decades, and the Matterhorn, which is a beloved attraction that Walt Disney himself had hands on creating, I think we would need a lot of details, not this, we're going to handpick details and then shove it out to a third-party source to release to everybody else. And Jason said the buildings behind Space Mountain are the dinosaurs and the Grand Canyon parts of the Disneyland Railroad. So they probably wouldn't change that either.
No, and you can move Space Mountain. I mean, if the fans are okay with that, but I mean, I probably not. But like, there's a lot of room moving forward. We don't use the Magic Eye Theater for anything substantial. You can move Space Mountain forward if you want to remodel the design. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't get rid of like the railroad stuff. No, I agree with Jason on that. Like you can do Space Mountain though. Yeah. Without affecting that in the back, I would think, because you might have to readjust some of the placement of this stuff. Remember when they redid the new Fantasyland in the 80s, they moved a lot of stuff. The carousel, Dumbo, the teacups. So, with the new Tomorrowland, maybe we can move some stuff. I'm fine with them moving Space Mountain a little bit over or a little bit forward or whatever they got to do, right?
Well, let me ask you this, because this is from Tommy Hawkins. Another person I found on X. So he's thinking that the People Mover will stay. The station will stay. It'll go up and left and kind of circle through these buildings here, go through Space Mountain a couple of times, come out, and then re-enter the load platform. So obviously it's not going to go on this right-hand side where the Spaghetti Bowl is, Matterhorn, Autopia, the Submarine Lagoons. So I want to ask you, being that Autopia could be on the chopping block because they don't want to deal with making them electric, being that possibly Buzz Lightyear might go away because they didn't really do a refurb on it. They just did a lot of paint and polish, the last refurb they had. Could this be in jeopardy? And the other thing, too, is the Matterhorn. If they have to rebuild it, obviously it's going to leak into the lagoon area because it's going to be a massive footprint than it is now because of building codes. So the Spaghetti Bowl area, does this get absorbed by New Tomorrowland, or could it be another mini land, possibly in Arendelle?
Okay, so
the Matterhorn. But go ahead.
So no, great questions. A couple things. In terms of the people mover, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake again and have that people mover run through all these buildings. I think if we get a people mover back, it'll probably be similar to, I think Magic Kingdom it runs on the outside of these buildings. I think that might be the move. I think that the going through the buildings has proven to be a huge pain in the butt. They're probably not going to repeat that mistake again, if it even comes back. So we'll see, because, again, they didn't give us any information, so we don't know. It's like Pandora and everything else. In terms of like Autopia and all that, no, conductor, you're 100% right. The Fantasyland IPs have more money potential, right? So Fantasyland has all the princess stuff, which is like, $1 billion IPs, right? The Frozens, the Tangleds, all that stuff. I can see them getting rid of Autopia and expanding Fantasyland quite a bit. Tomorrowland doesn't have as many opportunities for them with IP. And I know people don't like to hear that, but we have to be realistic with what Disney's going to do. They care more about the IP, trust me. So the Fantasyland is probably a bigger priority for them, and making sure they're freeing up. That's another thing. The new Tomorrowland is probably a move to free up some more Fantasyland stuff, because Disney wants more Fantasyland. So,
yeah. And you're not wrong. I could see them going more Fantasyland with Arendelle or Tangled or something like that. Or I could see the Tomorrowland-esque. I'm not saying we would get Tron. That would be ridiculous. But more attractions like the Tron-esque vibe.
Right.
It's just not Tron, obviously.
Yeah. I'm very curious what they do with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, because remember there was a post on X, and this was like a couple years ago, I think even before the D23 in 2024 that you went to, wasn't it Scott Trowbridge that was filming the little motorboat cruise area, and then there was another Imagineer. I don't know if it was Joe Rohde, but they showed them at the Imagineer, campus removing the Star Wars Launch Bay building and playing around with Tomorrowland.
Yeah, two things. Yes, you're right. Scott Trowbridge on a tweet took a picture of the motorboat cruise area and said that Disneyland will never be completed as long as there's imagination left in the world, which he was implying that there was something in the works for that area. And then you're right, on the Imagineering story, Joe Rohde was looking at like a model of Tomorrowland and was like playing around with the location of some of this stuff and removed Launch Bay from the model. So I'm telling you, if we would have had a Joe Rohde led Tomorrowland, dude, oh my God, we were robbed, fam. We were robbed. That's why I'm saying, you know what? That's what I'm saying. I don't want to ever hear anybody say be fair to Florida. You know what? Be fair to California. That's the new thing. Be fair to California. We've been robbed with so much. We need some fairness over here in the West Coast.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like, I mean, I love Disney as much as the next guy, but paying $2,000 for Imagine, or what was it, the Inspire Key? And it's dragging along. It's like, yeah, this is starting to not work for me too much.
Conductor, when was the last time we got a new ride? Like a new ride? Like, it's been a while. Like, I mean, we haven't really gotten anything. Tiana's was like a retheme.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie's was new, but we're pushing 3.5 years now, almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I haven't gotten anything, but the prices of the Magic Keys keep going up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I love Kiki and Luca's comment. We need a Disney equal rights amendment for Anaheim.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hey,
And then Shane Narani says we can start a campaign. Yeah, no, 100%.
Hey,
I'm telling you, man. And that's the thing. I was born and raised out here in California. I love our resort, and I will always fight for our resort. I have a lot of friends who are Florida people, and I love our friends in Florida, and I love Walt Disney World. But my heart's out here in Cali, and I just want to see Cali get some love out here. And I just feel like lately we haven't been, and I'm going to speak up about it. And that's the thing. People tune in, Conductor, to your channel and my channel because we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
People don't want to sit here and read the news. We were passionate about this stuff. That's why we talk about it, right?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, because we not just because we're, we go to Disney, but we care about it so much. We want them to do better. And by voicing our opinions online, they've even openly admitted that a lot of the times they watch content from, I don't know if you and me, it's a possibility, but people in our niche that cover the parks, and they watch our stuff to kind of get feedback on projects they're working on. And I do love that. I do respect that.
Yes. And right now, when we have Josh Giamaro and Thomas Maslov saying that they're actively listening to fans, yeah, I'm going to speak up, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I want Pandora. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. And look, if you're paying $2,000 a year on a Magic Key, I don't want Judy Hopps in the cop car in front of an LED screen in the back lot. If I'm paying $2,000 a year on a Magic Key, I want a full-blown Pandora. You better go full ambition if I'm paying that much a year. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not taking no Judy Hopps in front of a police station. No, we're not doing that, Disney. We're not doing that here. Okay. We're going we're going all in on the ambition. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I love that. And again, you're not wrong. I don't mind Zootopia coming to the resort, but I want to see Avatar happen first. Because one of the things that I couldn't agree more with you is you have one side of DCA that is like a concrete jungle, which is the Hollywood backlot and Avengers campus. On the other side, you have this beautiful redwood forest with the raft ride, the Redwood Creek, trails that they do Villains Grove in. It looks so beautiful, trees grown in. So I do kind of feel like that park needs more greenery, believe it or not. And Pandora will give that.
Yeah, actually, Peter Sriracha from Ordinary Adventures was actually talking about that on X, and he was saying that DCA needs more vibey stuff. It doesn't need more like concrete cityscape stuff, and I agree with him on that. Look, look, Rudio, I love Judy Hopps too, and I love Zootopia. If you were to ask me what franchise I like more, I'm going to say Zootopia. I like those movies way more. But here's the thing. In terms of theme park experience, Pandora is better. Look, yeah. I like Family Guy, bro. I can watch Family Guy all day long. It doesn't mean that I want Quahog in Disney. So it doesn't really matter. Like, my opinion on the IP and my opinion on the theme park stuff is completely different. Like, I love Waterworld at Universal. I could give two craps about the movie, though.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's totally true. I just wanted to point this out real quick before we jump to the East Coast. A big shout out to Theme Park IQ. You just had him on your channel just recently.
Yes.
And I love watching that. That was incredible. You two chatting it out. I loved it. But being that this area here where these 4 ticket booths are, and I was at the resort where the walls are up for at least 2 of these ticket booths. They're going to rip them out, then rip the other 2 out. Being that the bridge is going to come through, and they're reconfiguring the Esplanade, because that was another concern of yours. you've said for a very, very, very long time that the Esplanade has kind of been ignored, and it's
No,
getting
yeah, but I can't take credit for that. Actually, I actually that was Danny from Five Fires.
it
He came,
was.
yeah, he came on OG55 and we talked about that, and it was interesting because we see the Esplanade all the time, but it never really registered. I never really thought about it, and then Danny brought that up, and I was like, dude, you're right, man. Like the Esplanade is looking pretty rough. So no, I'm glad they're removing these. I'm assuming this is going to be for the Eastern Gateway, the new configuration, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So
Yeah. No, 100%. So that's good to see that they're making moves. I do respect that. You know what? Let's jump to Piston Peak real quick because
okay.
I want to get your gist on this.
Okay.
So no one thought about this model. So me and Bricky, because I met up with Bricky one of the days at D23 at the showroom floor.
Yes.
We were kind of geeking out and vibing about this and looking at it, analyzing it. What do you think about this model? What do you think about this? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Speaking of that, before you answer, let's pull up Graham's comment because Kiki and Luca wanted me to read it off. He said, hey, bite off topic, but does Disney own any of the apartment complexes around the Toy Story parking lot?
I don't know, Graham. And honestly, if they did, it's probably like through a shell company or something. So I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure that Disney owns a lot more in that area though than we know. They're probably secretly buying up a lot of stuff. So, but I don't know specifically about those apartment complexes.
Well, to be fair, I think Disneyland is Anaheim's biggest landlord. So
absolutely.
You know, but looking at this model, I want to ask you because I kind of asked Bricky the same thing when me and him were looking at it. Aesthetically, being that they got rid of their Rivers of America to place this, do you see anything in this model that kind of ties into the Rivers of America for you, like aesthetically?
Oh, you mean like on that same level?
Well, maybe not on the same level, but it kind of pays homage to it, like with the trees, the rock work, some water features in it, or you kind of just feel like, yeah.
I don't see much of an homage. Honestly, my honest true opinion is this feels more like DCA than it does Magic Kingdom.
I was kind of getting that vibe, but
yeah, no, it feels more like DCA, and I'm not like putting it down because I love DCA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the two elements of this that feel like DCA are the two best parts at DCA, right? Cars Land and Grizzly. So but it feels like a DCA thing. For whether people like that or not, that's what it feels like to me. I honestly like some of the information that we got on this area, like the attraction sounds pretty cool. I like the fact that like you're going to go up the mountain and then down the mountain. It's going to be kind of bumpy. And then like during like the ice scenes, your car will kind of slide around a little bit. Like it sounds pretty cool, actually. Like the attraction sounds pretty dope. I think visually it'll look nice. It'll probably be very similar to like what I said, like a Grizzly / Cars Land, which is good. That's not bad. But in terms of like a Rivers of America thing, though, I don't really see any kind of homage. It doesn't really seem. It's weird. They added more water in the concept art like a couple of years ago, but in the model, it seems like they got rid of the water because I don't see really any water. I mean, not a whole lot of it, at least.
Yeah, no. I kind of feel that as well. I was just more talking about the trees and how the buildings look. They kind of look like that Fort Wilderness type look, cabin look feel. That's why I was bringing that up.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't sure what your opinion on it was. Bricky kind of came with the same conclusion that you did to a point. So I was just asking because there's an element to this e-ticket attraction, which both attractions, that's why I'm playing the video, because both attractions we finally got the names for.
Right.
And they're like tongue twister names. It's not simple. It's like you almost have to like read it like 3 times fast to kind of get it stuck in your head, because
Right.
they're not normal names that people would like say it out loud. Like, I mean, word for word, which I kind of felt really, really weird about. So, being that you saw this panel, what do you think about the names of the attractions? Did you like them? Did you kind of just said it's too complicated? What do you think?
It's a little complicated, like, but I mean, the normies are always going to abbreviate anything anyway. I mean, most families will just say, "Hey, let's go ride the Cars ride," you know, to be honest. Yeah, they were a little bit overdone, a little bit long. Here's the issue too. Rudio mentioned that Avatar, he doesn't feel like that's really timeless. I kind of had the same concern though with the secondary attraction in this land with what's her name? Jitters or something? I forgot her name.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's a weird name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like the giant school bus with the flames coming out of it, looks like a monster truck rally. That's very modern for Magic Kingdom. And I don't know if Miss Fritters. Yeah, that's a very modern kind of thing. Like this stuff is more timeless, right? Like the whole like national park thing. I like this. But the Miss Fritters with like the monster truck rally, yeah, flames everywhere. Like, I don't know. It's a little obnoxious and a little bit like, I don't know. It's not really like, it's not a very time. See, yeah, I don't think that really, is that a Magic Kingdom thing? I mean, it feels more like a secondary park, like a DCA or like a Hollywood Studios thing. It doesn't feel like you would see like something like this that you would see at like a Magic Kingdom, like Castle Park, right?
It kind of, and I don't, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this. It kind of reminds me of like one of those traveling carnival rides that goes to city to city. Like, I mean, this is kind of what it's giving me vibes of.
A little
like,
bit.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but it kind of looks like that.
No, you're not wrong. And it's just kind of like an obnoxious like aesthetic, in my opinion. I don't know. This wasn't my favorite, but like I think that the other part of it, like the main land, looks really good.
Yeah, I think so. I think okay. So this is the name of the main e-ticket attraction. Are you happy with this name or not really?
Ridge Run Rally. It's okay. I don't know. Like it's okay. I like the logo probably more than the name personally.
Yeah. I think the logo is pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you really want to get weird, you could just call it we're gonna go to Cars triple R over here.
Yeah, no, exactly. But see, this looks really cool in here. I like the mountain and like this looks really good.
Yeah. I think that this attraction, being how big it is, and you're gonna have different elements of like desert, sun, dirt, water. I love that it incorporates all that. It's not just one same landscape throughout the entire attraction. I love that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I agree with you, and I love like the little car that's like a little bear because they're outside in the wilderness. That's really clever, very creative. There's a lot of good stuff in this land. I like it.
No, I definitely like it myself. So there was a comment in here that I want to bring up. Shane Narani says, "Did anyone see the Leslie Iwerks world builders? It looks each area will go by biodome like Zootopia. Did you watch the world builders yet?"
Not yet. Did you see it?
They showcased it at the convention. So I did.
Okay. What did you think?
I'm kind of getting that vibe that Shane's talking about. You might have to go see it. It's on Disney Plus, I think, already.
Okay.
You might have to watch it.
Okay. I'll check it out, man. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I need to watch. I need to sit down and watch it. Is it just one episode or something, or is it
Yeah,
like just
it's one episode. I think it's like 35 minutes or 40 minutes. It's not that long.
okay? Cool.
Yeah, it's not that long. Um, this part of the panel, I think you talked about that was very impressive, and this is for Animal Kingdom. So this was for Indiana Jones, my favorite. Harrison Ford, absolute legend. I'm going to be bawling my eyes out when he sadly passes. I'm
Oh,
serious. A grown man, I'm going to cry because I love Harrison Ford. But being that he's reprising his role as Indiana Jones, and they're going to actually use his facial structure for the animatronic. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love it. I mean, like you said, like, it sucks to talk about it, but I mean, the dude ain't getting any younger, and I love the idea of them having his likeness in this attraction forever, right? For generations to come. That's amazing. Dude, the Indiana Jones stuff was like some of my favorite, and Mr. Webba, who was with me, he was like on the same page too. Some of that stuff was the best part of the whole panel, was the Indiana Jones. I love the giant serpent that's like massive in scale. I love this stuff with Harrison Ford and his likeness. I love the name of the attraction. Dude, they're crushing it with this. This is they're hitting all the right marks with the Indiana Jones retheme. So A+ for me, dude. Ooh, dude, that is so sick, dude. How sick is that, bro?
Oh, dude, I love the name. I love it. I love even more that Harrison Ford was willing to come back and reprise his role after he basically retired from TV and film. He is finishing up, I think it's that TV series on Apple TV. It's Shrink.
Yeah.
I think he's finishing that up. I heard he even wants to do one more project with Disney, being that he would play the grandpa on Up. That might be his last project if he decides to do it.
Yeah.
But this architecture, the way they're doing this, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. I mean, they're handling this tropical Americas thing overall exactly how they should. It's just very, very impressive. They're tying it into the Mayan culture. And people forget, Animal Kingdom is about animals. It's also about cultures of the world as well. So this fits in perfectly with Animal Kingdom. And then you have the giant serpent in the ride, which ties into the animal element of it all. Dude, A+ for me, dude. I love it.
100%. So Park Explorer Adventure asks, do you think Disneyland Indiana Jones animatronic will get the update too?
See, the thing is, though, I think timeline wise, I think our Indiana Jones ride takes place in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken. And the one in Florida takes place in the 50s. So we have a different age Indy in ours. So I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll give us like a younger Harrison. They'll de-age him and give us. I hope they do. I don't know why didn't they do that in the first place? Why didn't we get Harrison's face in the first place?
So that was I remember seeing a post or someone talk about it the other day. It was a copyright issue back in the day when they were building Indiana Jones for Disneyland. That's why they couldn't use his facial structure.
I mean, that makes sense. Now, Remy D says, I wonder if Indiana Jones is a sleeper hit ride of the multi-year expansions. I think it might be, Remy. I mean, it might be. I mean, everything I've seen of this version of Indiana Jones looks top tier.
Yeah.
And actually, our friend Drew the Disney Dude has been talking about how Encanto might be a sleeper hit as well. It's very classical Disney. We haven't really heard much on it, unfortunately, but that could also be a big thing. So yeah, no, the tropical America stuff, I'm super excited for.
Oh, 100%. Mouseware Balance says, how long do you think it's going to take for the Harrison Ford likeness coming to Disneyland version? Well, if I'm going to say this, if when they open the Indiana Jones attraction in Tropical Americas, because it's been talked about online that it's going to be a phased opening, like Monstropolis for Monsters Inc., because they're not going to have the door coaster open and ready yet, but they are going to open the rest of the land, which I kind of feel like they'll do with Tropical Americas. They'll have Indiana Jones ready, they'll have everything else ready, but Encanto won't be ready. Yeah. I think once they open that ride with the new Harrison Ford animatronic, I would say it wouldn't take that much longer for ours to get it, if we get it at all.
Yeah. It's
incredible.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Now Steve has he's pushing back on me, so we can address that. I'm down to talk about it. He says, I have to push back on OG as it seems hypocritical to criticize Tomorrow at this stage of his tenure. I don't think that, I mean, well, first of all, we're 6 months in, so it's not like, like he just got in there like 2 weeks ago. But like, let's be honest, like, I mean, we can criticize for what he's doing right now. And how, I mean, the expo was him. I mean, this expo was on his watch. So it's fair game, in my opinion, to criticize Josh for this expo. So I think there are certain things that are fair game and certain things that are not, right? So more long-term stuff, no, maybe it's not so fair. Like, look, Steve, obviously, like, this company is really big, and obviously I'm not going to like make a definitive statement like everything Tomorrow does now is a failure. No one's saying that. But I think it's fair to criticize decisions and things that he's making right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like what at what point, Steve, can we criticize him? Do we have to wait 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? When is the arbitrary point in which we can start criticizing him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Personally, for me, I'm going to be fair and give him a year. That's what I'm going to give him. And if I really want to be generous, maybe 2 years. But being that he's a parks guy and Bob Iger was more of a business CEO, I kind of feel like projects for the parks should be turbocharged like he's talked about in the past at previous D23s.
Yeah. And then he goes, look at what Chapstick or Chapek did to bring the image down. Then Super Iger swoops back in with heavy IP that was somewhat lackluster. Okay, well, a couple things here. Tomorrow ain't going to get rid of the IP stuff. I can tell you that right now. He's all in on one Disney, and he's bragging even recently on CNBC about how Disney has the best IP and everyone wants what they have. So if you think that Tomorrow's going to come in here and suddenly be not about the IP, that's Steve. It's not going to happen. Now Chapek did do damage. He did. But again, Chapek was in there for, he was in there for a couple of years, and you can make the argument he wasn't in there long enough for us to criticize him. So, I mean, what's the arbitrary point when we can start criticizing these people? I don't know. 100%. I mean, for me, when Tomorrow's making decisions like the expo, like this, like he's been in there for 6 months, dude. Like, this expo was Josh, so it's fair game to criticize the expo, and Josh connected to that, because believe it or not, he gets all the credit though, doesn't he, Steve? When everyone's saying how he's listening to fans, so we can't criticize him, but we can say how he's listening to fans, how great he is. So we can only say how great he is. We can't criticize the guy. I don't work that way. I'm gonna say how I really feel, and when he does good, I'm gonna say he does good, and when he does bad, I'm gonna say he does bad.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's how people like us, because I call everybody that pays for Disney Plus subscriptions, goes to the theme parks, buys the merch, buys the food, goes to after dark events. We're all investors in the Disney company. So we all expect the standard from leadership when it comes to experiences, new attractions, cast member service, the whole 9 yards of what Disney, provides as a company.
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more. And Steve actually says at least Tomorrow is making his mark to his leadership by fixing long-standing problems and listening to the masses to what they want. And Steve actually leads into a great comment, because as we're looking on the screen, something that fans been wanting for a decade, probably 2 decades, is the Yeti to be fixed on Expedition Everest. And Joe Rohde has said in the past that it would be such a nightmare to rip that mountain apart, to take the old animatronic out, fix the foundation that was damaged by the old animatronic, put a new animatronic in there and patch it all up and get it ready to go, because the nickname that the Yeti has is, what was it, Disco Yeti or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, to be honest with you, I want a new Yeti myself, because I would love to go back and see it. But what's your thoughts?
No, and I agree with Steve on this. Like, I do think it's great that he's listening to fans, and I do think it's great that they're bringing back the Yeti. So that's a win on for tomorrow, 100%. But at the same time, like, if we can praise him, we can also criticize him. So that's where I stand with it. But the Yeti, though, I think that is something that fans have wanted for a long time, and I'm really glad they're bringing it back. This is something where, honestly, they're going to spend a lot of money on this thing. They're not going to get a lot of return on it. So it is actually very surprising and refreshingly surprising, because honestly, the normies don't care about this. No, the soccer mom ain't going to care if the Yeti works or doesn't work. They're spending millions of dollars to fix this thing for people like us. That deserves a lot. Okay. Even the Walt animatronic they put in Disneyland. I know people complain it doesn't look like them. Dude, average people don't care about that animatronic. No one cares about Walt like we do. They did that animatronic for fans like us. They spent millions of dollars knowing that thing ain't going to really move the needle whatsoever financially for them. That says a lot, and that's cool. And Disney deserves all the credit in the world for that.
Yeah. And you're not wrong. Like, I mean, even this project, and I'm going to play this while we talk about it. So at D23 in 2024, Epcot got nothing. They got nothing. Let's be fair. They got shafted. That's one park out there in Florida. They didn't get nothing. Now all of a sudden, they're talking about Spaceship Earth getting reimagined, and they're talking about Figment. And I said this on one of my past live streams. I said Figment does not hit the mark like he used to do with Dreamfinder, because the normies don't know who Figment is. Most kids are scared of Figment, but they're putting money to kind of repurpose the Figment attraction and bring it up to code and add new elements. I'm sure of it. Spaceship Earth is, I'm going to say it's a little bit different of a story, because it's the park's icon. So you can't let it fall apart either. But I have heard from others, I think Jared was one of them from Capture the Magic, has said the maintenance elevators to get into that attraction for maintenance is a nightmare. Yeah. So you imagine the reimagining they're going to have to do for this to get this up to date.
I mean, it's going to be an ordeal for sure. And again, this is something that like most normies don't care about. So kudos to them. Keegan Luca brings up a good point too. He brings up like kind of like the alternate perspective on the Yeti, which is, I don't think Disney deserves a pat on the back for fixing stuff they should be fixing. My wife doesn't give me an award for changing the light bulb. I mean, that's a fair point, Kiki and Luca. I mean,
well, I'm going to say this to Kiki and Luca, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm not going to the trophy store and sending a trophy to Josh tomorrow for doing this, but I do give him praise because we've had Bob Iger twice, Bob Chapek, and we even had Michael Eisner that for a little bit that kind of passed on these projects. So I do commend tomorrow for taking those risks and updating attractions like Spaceship Earth, like a Figment, the Yeti on Expedition Everest. That's not going to give the ROI, revenue back to the company, but they're doing it because fans like us want to see these things refreshed.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Now, Greg brings up an interesting point there about Epic Universe, right? Greg Davison says, how much has Epic scared Disney? Seems like a lot. of the 60 billion they are spending seems to be going to Florida. Now, I don't know the allocation, Greg, in terms of like the money, but D23 said it all, my friend. It was the Walt Disney World show that night. It was, we're going to spend 20 minutes on Villains Land and 15 minutes on Tropical Americas. And then meanwhile, Coco, here's a piece of art and you get no height requirement, right? They didn't really care about Anaheim, okay, at all. Let's be real. They didn't. So the hyper focus on Florida, I agree with Greg, is all about, look, I'm telling you, they're scared about Universal in Orlando. They can say what they want. Obviously, Epic had more of an impact than maybe they're not leading on to, because the fact that they're so hyper focused on Florida, the fact that they're sucking up to fans and giving them everything they want in Florida tells me that Epic Universe made a huge impact and they're worried. So,
no, 100%. So the other thing I want to talk about, the door coaster. Okay, so the door coaster, from what they announced here, they talked about it's gonna raise you 40 feet in the air, and it's gonna launch you. Like, I mean, it's not gonna be this gentle launch. It's gonna launch you like Tron. It seems like. I want to ask you about this first, the Glob Theater, because I want to ask you, because everyone that I know of kind of shared this concern a little bit, maybe some more than others, that the Glob Theater, they were going to take Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor from Tomorrowland and incorporate it into the Glob Theater. Are you happy that they're not doing that?
100% yes. Yeah. No, this show looks really cute. I think it looks really cute. I'm happy that it's an original show and they're not just doing the lazy thing and bringing over the laugh floor. I love this. And there's some new characters too that they've added that look adorable. So no, I'm on board with this. And you have to do this because this is the theater where Muppets used to be.
So there's a big, what's the word I'm looking for?
You have big shoes to fill, right? I mean,
exactly.
So,
and you're not wrong. They're going to have animatronics for a camera. There's an animatronic over here with a band. I think it's great. Look at that. Like, I know you and me, if you and me went out there to Monstropolis, I know where we would be hanging out. Harryhausen's.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, you know what? I got to give a shout out, by the way, because it was okay. So I was on the Diz Twitter podcast like a few days ago, right? And big shout out to Nick Chappelle. He's awesome, man. Great host. We had a great time. Zach from Boardwalk Times was on that panel with us. And he had a great kind of theory as to what kind of food they're going to sell at Harryhausen's, because we were talking about how sushi really isn't for everybody, right? Let's be honest, it isn't. They're going to probably do stuff that looks like sushi, but is more Americanized, like have like sushi, like burger meat that looks like a sushi roll or whatever, right? Like, or like, remember how they did, how like frushi, like fruit sushi, things like that. Like, it's going to be Americanized, maybe ingredients, like dressed up to look like Japanese food, right? Actually, at the Korean supermarket down the street from my house, they have bao buns that have literally meat and cheese in them, like a cheeseburger. But they look like they're bao buns. You know what I'm saying? But like, obviously, that's not like traditional, right? Like cheeseburger filling, right? So I think that's the kind of thing we're gonna see here, where it's like you will have some seafood options, I'm sure, but they're gonna have some other options in there that are more Americanized, that just look the part.
So I want to ask you about this, being that this area right here, we're going to have a full blown animatronic. That's kind of entertaining. Guess why guests eat. Are you, being that you're a vibes guy, you and Bricky both vibe central over there.
Yeah.
Being that you two are like that, are you, from a perspective on that front, are you happy that they're having something like this where it maybe it won't be obnoxious, but it would be something that's kind of like entertainment in the background.
Oh, dude, I love this idea. I love having the sushi, the chef, the little octopus chef. This is like Vibes Guy City. Are you kidding? I would go nuts for this. I wish they would bring it here. Be fair to California. Hey, bring it here. Hey, I actually suggested a long time ago, conductor. I suggested that they should do the Ink and Paint Club out here in like Toontown or even like Buena Vista Street, right? And have the octopus bartender and stuff. So like this is like exactly that, basically. Dude, this is amazing. I mean, they are spending money on this land and a lot more than I was expecting. I really thought the land itself was going to get a repaint, but they're not. They're taking down the facades and they're rebuilding stuff, which is great to see.
Oh, for sure. I want to ask you about the door coaster as we're watching kind of like a simulation of what it's going to look like. Do you now believe, looking at it, do you still think it's for kids, or you think it's now leaning towards more of that older teenager adult-esque of a coaster?
Bro, I am not a thrill junkie at all, and I will not go on this. I will not go on. They said at the expo, didn't they, that you go 40 feet in like 5 seconds?
Yeah, and
you go up, and then it launches you. There's no way I'm going on this. There's no way. There's no way I'm going on this, bro. There's no way. But it's cool and people will love it, but it's just not for me, you know?
Yeah. And I kind of feel you make an excellent point on that. And I want to keep playing this from Bio Reconstruct, but being that you said that, I think that's why Coco and Encanto, 2 attractions, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. That's why they announced both those attractions are not going to have a height requirement.
Yeah.
To kind of cater to everybody.
Yeah.
Not like group.
Yeah. Well, and Thomas Maslam is really, he's on this kick with the height requirements. Because I remember Big Thunder, when they redid it, they lowered the height requirement. It's like a thing that he's into, you know? But you're right. And it's kind of weird too, that Monsters is getting like what seems like a pretty intense coaster for like a 4-quadrant sort of IP. I don't know. It seems pretty intense for like this franchise. Because I remember people were saying that like the drop on Splash Mountain was too intense for Tiana. For a Princess IP, you have a bunch of little girls. How are they going to ride this? Well, I mean, can't the same be said for Monsters? Like, this is way more crazy than Tiana's.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. But it's going to be a huge hit. So I'm not trying to like put it down. It's just, I just think it is a little crazy for for me. And I'm sure a lot of people, grandma ain't going on this, bro. There's no way.
No, God, no. I would be surprised if I saw a grandma on that. I'd be shocked. I might buy her a drink after. I'm like, you okay?
I'm telling you, man. You got to get a drink in me before I go on that thing.
Couple drinks.
Yeah, probably a couple, actually. Yep. On an empty stomach.
Oh, my God. Greg Davis says, is there going to be a small ride for the kids in this land?
I think the theater is pretty much what you do with the kiddos, probably.
Now, it's interesting because if you look, okay, door coaster way over here, right? And then you have Monstropolis over here. There is all this space. They could expand Monsters Inc. and do Monsters University. So there is expansion slots.
Yeah.
For more.
Oh, absolutely. They got room. Florida has room for days. They got room. They can do all kinds of stuff, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about, let's see, the Dark Universe stuff, because you actually brought it up. You actually brought it up because there was that comment. Being that they're going to be building another attraction for Dark Universe. Again, they're pumping money in the Epic. Second, another attraction for Dark Universe. You have another attraction for the Harry Potter land.
Yeah.
They just updated the nighttime show. they're talking about doing this kind of open portal or open like celestial park thing. You know, I could see why Disney's kind of reevaluating how fast they're moving out there on projects.
I'm telling you that the Florida vibe from Disney has changed. And yeah, they are definitely like, look, I mean, there were people on like social media and like YouTube and stuff saying that like, you know, Epic Universe was going to like take down Disney. And that was always nonsense. It was never going to do that.
No.
But I do think that Universal is making Disney feel uncomfortable. Like, I do believe that they are cutting into the market share in Orlando enough that's making Disney sit up and take notice. Not that they're being destroyed by them. They're not. Disney's last quarter with the parks was better than Universal's last quarter with the parks. So, I mean, to be fair, but I do believe that Disney sees like a little bit of an uneasiness there where they're like, you know what? Maybe they're not doing as well as us, but they're inching along more than we like, you know? And so that's why it's not a coincidence they're focusing on Florida like they are. They never used to. They never did. Like, I mean, just a few years ago when they did Tron, a lot of Florida fans were very frustrated with that. It took forever for them to build that. They were never focused on Florida. I mean, for the last 15 years, they haven't been focused on Florida. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, being that they were building Tron during COVID, I kind of thought with COVID, the park shut down, you know, they could have gotten a lot more work done, obviously with restrictions because the 6-foot rule and all that. But still, they could have gotten a lot of work done, and they kind of just like slacked it off. That's why it took 6 years. And being that a lot of the entire track came from overseas, and then there were overseas shipping issues because, as many of you probably don't know, I work for Costco, so a lot of those logistical things we were dealing with as well, with the whole port situation and all that. So I get it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Now, Remy D here says Epic Universe actually cannibalized the attendance from Iowa Studios, and I don't doubt that. I heard the same thing, Remy. I'm just saying that Disney's behavior is painting a picture here a little bit, right? Like, I do believe there is something going on, and the only thing that's really changed in Florida is Epic. So you're right; it probably has cannibalized some of Universal's own parks, but obviously Disney feels uncomfortable with something because they wouldn't be as aggressive in Florida like they are if there wasn't a problem or something going on, you know?
Well, being that we're looking at this aerial footage from BioReconstruct, and being that Iowa possibly is going to get a Pokemon land, is that what Disney's really worried about? Is Pokemon? Because Pokemon has like a humongous, massive fan base.
I would be worried if I was them. Pokemon is like, dude, like crazy popular. Yeah. That could be it. It could be the Pokemon stuff. I mean, and that's the thing, Remy. Like, we don't know. Like, I don't have any inside information, but Disney's not being this aggressive for no reason. Like, it's either what Conductor is saying with Pokemon, or Epic Universe has cut into it more than they thought. Something's going on because they don't care anything about us over here in California. It's all about Florida, and it's all about Florida right now for a reason. Sean, I do want to say, because Sean is, I think that's Walt's apartment, right? Sean Williams. Unfortunately, I can't on Wednesday, but like, hit me up, text me, and we'll work something else out on another day. Unfortunately, I can't on Wednesday though, brother.
No worries. I'll be there. I'll represent OG for sure.
There he is. Conductor will be there. Everybody check out Walt's apartment. On YouTube. We love Sean, and he does great work over there, and you'll be on there next week. So, this week, sorry.
It's actually more funny. You want to know something funny? I ran into him at the Imagineering Pavilion.
I love it.
Wait a second. I had to take like a double look. I'm like, wait a second, isn't that Sean? What the
dude?
So it was cool to see. It was cool to actually meet him in person. Sean is awesome. Like, I mean, I kind of for the few seconds I was talking to him, I kind of feel like he's like a vibes guy like you. We could just go in the park, shoot the shit and just have a great time.
No, I love it. Hey, Sean, are you a vibes guy or are you a rides guy? I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I'm a vibes guy, but okay, I'm a vibes guy, but I respect my rides guys. So like if I go to a theme park with rides guys, I'm going on rides because that's what the homies are doing. Right?
Just not any coasters. That's a
yeah, just not Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. That then I'm doing. I'll wait for you in the gift shop. Then
Oh my god, that's crazy. Well, I want to ask you this. Okay, so IOA, Epic Universe, the studios, because they're building the coaster and they're adding theming elements to it. And being that you talked about earlier that we're having issues with Toluca Lake with the residents. And we got Thrill B in the house. Always great to have Thrill B in there.
Bro, Thrill B is in the house.
Absolutely. Do you kind of feel that the version of Fast and Furious out in the Studios Park in Florida could start ride testing pretty soon? We are kind of still stuck at a, stop go point with ours where it hasn't officially opened yet, and Florida's version is just moving along.
Yeah, we could start to see testing on it. It's very, very possible. Today, actually, when I was at Universal, they were doing AP previews.
Yes.
You had to make like Alan Almighty Coasters was telling me that I guess you had to like make a reservation for that or something.
You did. And what kind of sucks though, like I was getting told by people that went in the morning, they could ride it 2 or 3 times. I drive all the way down there and I'm not close. You know where I'm at. I'm not close.
Yeah.
And it was a 1 ride, 1 shot. And I'm like, I drove all the way down here for that.
Bro, Alan was saying they cut your wristband, right?
Yeah, they did.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's trash. Like, I mean, wow. I hope there's no limitations for HHN, because the first night I'm doing RIP with the guys. Second night I'm doing general admission, but the third night I'm doing Express Unlimited. So I have 2 tickets that have access to Fast and Furious, and if they tell me, no, you can only ride it once, I'm going to go, You know where I'm driving from? No, that's not happening. I'm getting on again. Move out.
Exactly. No, exactly. Well, hey, you got to call. What you got to do is you got to call Wizard, theme park Wizard.
That's true.
And you got to let him use his special access, bro.
Hey.
He can make moves for you. He's a Universal guy.
That is true. He's our Universal bro.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this. This is the last thing.
Sure.
Again, Bio Reconstruct. So it looks like they're moving along with Piston Peak up here, which we saw the model. Okay, the model looks beautiful. Villains Land. I want to ask you, because Magic Kingdom is going to be hitting its 60th anniversary, the Diamond Celebration. Like, I'm super excited to go to that. Like, I'm clearing room now in my calendar for that. I'm doing it.
All right.
When do you think we'll get like an updated model about Villains Land? Because we saw at the Parks and Experiences panel, they were kind of talking about Villains Land for about, I think you said like 20 minutes or 60 minutes, but there wasn't really a model for Villains Land. Like, they showed it in like a sneak preview of the Imagineer story, or the Leslie Iwerks documentary. They showed like the coaster,
right?
That's at Burbank, but we didn't get a model.
No, we didn't. And here's the thing too, they didn't tell us when the next D23 is going to be yet, did they?
No, because it's funny you mention that, because think about it. Midsummer Scream, is moving to the Anaheim Convention Center starting next year, and it'd probably continue years after. Then 2028, you have one of the biggest, biggest competitions of them all come in the Southern California, the Olympics. So does D23 really want to fight that and try to squeeze their convention in, or could they go old school and maybe do it in 2029?
You know, if I was a betting man, because usually they announce the next one at the end of the expo. They didn't do that this year. And I think you're onto something, Conductor. I think that they don't want to do it 2028 because the Olympics is going to be occupying a lot of these buildings. I think the Olympics has the Honda Center too.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to wait until 2029. And that's the 20th anniversary. Yeah, Mouseword Balance said it. That's the 20th anniversary of D23. That it'll be 2029. In my opinion, I think it will be. And I think that's why they didn't give us the year or the next one at the end of this one, because it's going to not be 2 years from now. It's 3 years from now. So anyway, so I think that will be in 2029. That D23 will probably be when we get the model, because that's only going to be like a year out from when Villains Land opens, probably, right? 2030.
It could be. And you might not be wrong. And Rogue Attraction actually brings up a good point too. Mickey turns 100. And I could be wrong. Was it at the end of D23 they announced the date for the next one, or is it Destination D23 they announced that?
I could have sworn they do it at the end of every expo. They say the next, see you in 2028 at this location or something like that. Usually they usually say it at the end of each one for D23. So it was kind of weird they didn't this year, but anyone in the chat, like who's more privy to D23, am I wrong on that? I mean, I thought they always announced the next one at the end of the expo. I thought they always did that. It's kind of like Star Wars Celebration does the same thing. So, okay. When Rogue, when is Destination D? Is that next year? Because if it's next year, you might see your Villains Land model at that. That's a possibility. I forgot about Destination D.
You know what's interesting? I want to ask you about this. Oh, Mouseware Balance says, as far as I know, they haven't really announced the next D23 at the end of the expo since before COVID. I could be wrong though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I guess. Yeah. I guess not. That's interesting.
So let me ask you about this though. Destination D23. It's like a lackluster event for Disney fans. Known several people that have gone to it. Horrible. Not worth the money. Could they change it up and maybe introduce a Villains Land model? Could they introduce talking about, some of these vague projects that didn't really get talked about, like Coco, Avatar? Maybe they could talk about Tomorrowland. They could talk about, some of these other things that they just vaguely announced, and gives something to Destination D23 to kind of bring that convention, event up. Because right now it's just no one wants to pay for it. You can't even give tickets away for that. Go to.
Yeah, Destination D seems really redundant to me. Like I feel like it's like a watered down D23, you know? And like, so why even have it? Like, why not just fold all of that into D23? It seems kind of weird, but I mean, I also think Destination D is more of a Florida thing, if I'm not mistaken. And Rogue, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think Destination D is more Florida centric. So I don't know. Maybe the Florida people like it more than the West Coast, but yeah, it does. It seems kind of pointless though. You already have D23. Just put all your stuff into that, right?
That's what I think. But again, you never know. But again, Orange Grove 55. Thank you so very much for joining tonight's live stream. It's been a while since I've had you on. Yeah. Great conversation. A lot of amazing people in the chat. You guys are awesome as well. But where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, no, I just want to say big shout out to the chat. I love, like Steve, like big shout out to you, bro. Like you push back, and I like that. I like having debates and talking about stuff, right? A lot of fun. Remy D always brings it. Remy D is always bringing it. Kiki and Luca, I love Kiki and Luca. Everybody in the chat, really, really good time. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Make sure you subscribe to Theme Park Conductor and smash the like button. Give Conductor all the love. But you can find me here on YouTube, Orange Grove 55, talking theme parks and all that good stuff as well. You can also find me on Instagram and on, as Alan calls it, the dreaded X. Also Orange Grove 55 over there. So again, Conductor, amazing time. Conductor Sundays are always bangers, bro. Always bangers. Are you coming back next Sunday again? Are you doing another one next week, or are you taking a break? Or
so I'm kind of playing it off. You know, I'm trying to get consistent again, but as you know, Costco is getting back into the holiday season. It's getting a little more tougher because the hours kind of fluctuate. Then you have HHN. So I'm going to try to. If I do, you're more than welcome to come back on.
I would love to. I love doing these, love hanging out, and I love the chat, the community. It's always a good time. So
no, it definitely is. And everybody, please go subscribe to Orange Grove 55, as he just put out a video this afternoon, as he did a walk and talk at Universal Studios Hollywood. I think it was brilliant. Like, I mean, I love when he does it. I love when he does his bar chats. It's so awesome. Like, I mean, you have him, Alan, and Wizard in the same room.
Oh, come on.
It's like VillainCon Central over there. I'm laughing the entire time. I'm just dying.
I'm telling you, man, we're all baddies, you know. That's why, you know, we're all baddies. But yeah, no. The last bar chat was me, Almighty Coasters and Theme Park Wizard. I actually do have another bar chat coming up in the next day or two, which is me and Alan, Almighty Coasters, coming out all about Universal. That'd be really fun. I got Sam chat coming on very soon. So yeah, I love doing those because you kind of get out there in the field, out there in the park, but like we're still doing like the OG55 nerdy stuff, but like on location. It's not like, okay, for example, I said it in the video today, you're never going to see me review a churro or a funnel cake. That's not my style. People that do that, I have all the respect in the world for that. It's just not my style. But I will be in the parks talking about nerdy stuff like what we talked about today. And that's more my style. And that's what we do with the bar chats. And that's what we do with the walk and talks.
No, 100%. And the last thing I want to praise you for, because you actually told me in our weekly videos that we put out for Disney News, that you have a new outro coming out. You're working with the lovely Miss Mimi Fan on a new outro for Orange Grove 55. When can we expect that?
Very soon, probably within a week or so. We got a new Mimi outro. Mimi's awesome. She's been doing our outro on the channel for about, man, I think it's been a whole year now. And she's great. She's awesome. So yeah, we got Kiki and Luca is a Mimi fan for sure. We love Mimi. But yeah, you can look for that in the next week or so. So
no, absolutely. And again, thank you for joining. And I want to let everybody know this coming, I think, Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a recording with the Leaving Today podcast crew and Hollow Gelato. So definitely stick tuned for that. And then I'm going to be doing another video probably with Jared coming up, because me and him are doing a new series on his channel. So a lot of content just happening all over the place. It's incredible. And we got Joshua in the house for a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Joshua, so very much. And again, make sure to subscribe to Orange Grove 55 and Theme Park Conductor on YouTube and all social media platforms, as things are spicing up. Both channels are putting out content like crazy. D23 stuff is just like,
bro, I'm telling you, the D23 stuff is just wild because there's so much to talk about with that. It was a crazy turn of events. So
absolutely. But we will see you guys next Sunday on Conductor Sunday live stream. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.